Kirtan becomes acoustically more full, and we need all of you to focus a little bit more. This is perhaps the last or the second last Kirtan we do together. Please apply what you have learned, and it should be good singing, and also the heart should be there. Sing now, please. Hare Krishna. Krishna. We welcome all of you for this concluding session of our Saranagati retreat. I think we all heard a lot of transcendental katha, which brought us further in our understanding of Krishna consciousness. And it is important for us to take what we have learned, the insights, the realizations, the precious moments which we could call Krishna moments where we felt closer. It's so important to take all this home, and also if there are remaining questions, they should be solved. Here in this wonderful swan boat, there is questions, and I will start with a question to Hari Parshad Prabhu, but I see you have garlands. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Should I read or should you read?
Yeah, sure, Maharaj.
While hearing Krishna Katha, I have begun to experience feelings of the heart. However, I now find myself struggling to understand how to integrate these experiences into my practical and material life. In particularly, I'm deeply affected by Krishna leaving Vrindavan and Radharani's broken heart. If the highest expression of love culminates in such intense separation, what are we actually aspiring towards on this path? No? What are we aspiring if this is the highest? Are we trying to stay in the mood of separation all the time? How do we link this to devotional service? Are we trying to engage in these pastimes through service? Or is there something more foundational that I may be misunderstanding? A wonderful question, really. No, it is very useful. So here is, it is directed towards you. Please, yes.
If the highest expression of love culminates in such intense separation, what are we actually aspiring towards on this path? So, separation and union are eternal parts of the pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. We are not aspiring only for separation, but we definitely want to see Srimati Radharani always united with Sri Krishna. But it is out of the desire of Sri Krishna that he sometimes introduces separation within the pastimes. Although our desire is always to see both of them, the Gaudiya Vaishnava desire is always to see both of them together. But it is out of Sri Krishna's desire that he introduces separation sometimes. And this is mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami in Sri Ujjwal Nilmani, where he quotes the following verse from Saraswati Kanthabaran. The verse is in front of us, and devotees can kindly sing after me. Na vina vipralambena sambhogah pushtimashnute kashaite hi vastradau bhuyan eva vivardate. So Sri Rupa Goswami says, he quotes a previous Acharya, Na vina vipralambena sambhogah pushtim ashnute. Without vipralamba, without separation, sambhogah, meeting, does not become very tasty. And he gives an example, Kashaite hi vastradau. Suppose you want to color a white cloth, the easiest way would be to dip it directly in color. But the cloth could get colored, but as soon as you wash it for the first time, most of the color will go away. So we first need to apply a harsh chemical in order to fix the color, which is called as mordant dye. And that mordant dye is a harsh chemical, but when we first apply that chemical and then apply color, then the color becomes fixed. So similarly, if separation is applied first, it is like a harsh chemical, but after separation, when the color of union is applied to the relationship, then the color stays forever, and we always want that to happen between Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. But sometimes in order to increase the taste of union, Bhagavan introduces separation from time to time in a relationship. Separation is of 4 types: Purvarag, Man, Prema Vaichitya, and Pravas. Purvarag, very quickly, separation before they have met for the first time is Purvarag. That is the first separation. Man is separation due to sulkiness, when either Sri Radha or Sri Krishna becomes sulky. Prema Vaichitya, sometimes they are together, but they are so absorbed in the fear of getting separated that although they are together, one of them feels that the other one has gone away. That is Prema Vaichitya. And 4th is Pravas. Every day when Krishna travels to the forest, so he is no longer seen for some time, that is called Pravas. So these 4 types of separation are introduced from time to time in order to ensure sweetness of pastimes. On earthly pastimes, this becomes Sudur Pravas. He goes to Mathura and Dwarka and doesn't return back. But that is only on earthly pastimes. In Goloka Vrindavan, he always stays in Vrindavan and only goes for little pravas, only in the daytime, and returns in the evening, to add flavor to the relationship. So that is the understanding for this question. So we have to look for both union and separation. We aspire to keep both of them together always. And in practical day-to-day life, this helps us in our smaran as given by the Guru, because according to the times of the day, when a devotee has advanced enough, the Guru will give specific smaran as to when one should think of pastimes of meeting and when one should think of pastimes of separation. So that is the answer to this query. Thank you so much.
Please allow me to contribute to this question from the Bhajana Hasya. There, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that of all the moods in which we approach the Lord, the mood of separation, where are you, Krishna, in my life, no? Is most congenial. So Mahaprabhu has taught also in his teachings on chanting the holy name. This mood is relevant also for us conditioned souls. We pray, Ayinanda, I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please, you take me to you. I'm fallen away. So it is. But I learn so much each time you speak Hari Prasad Prabhu. This with the color, no? First the harsh color, The harsh
chemical.
What is it called?
Mordant dye. Mordant, mordant dye.
Mordant dye.
Yeah.
Then it fixes the real color.
Yeah.
In German, I know it's fixation, something fixes. Yeah. Thank you so much. This is very, very good. So our next question goes to Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. I think it's good if you just read the question before for everyone, and then we can hear.
I think before I answer this question, Hariparsha Prabhu's beautiful answer and Maharaja's comment inspired me also to share a thought.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Yeah. Regarding separation between Krishna and the gopis, Krishna and Srimati Radharani, Krishna himself said something. In the Rasa Leela, when Krishna disappeared from the scene, the gopis sang Gopi Gita, indicated separation. After the gopis sang the Gopi Gita, Krishna returned, and the gopis surrounded Krishna and asked him a multiple choice question. MCQ. Krishna, in this world we see different types of reciprocators. Which category do you belong to? Category number 1. Those who reciprocate only towards those who love them. If you love them, they will love you. That's first category. Second category, even if you don't love them, they will love you. Even if you don't serve them, they're still kind and compassionate towards you. Third category, whether you love them or not, they're indifferent, they're neutral, they're in their own world. Krishna, which category do you belong to? A, B, C. 1, 2, 3. Huh? B. Okay, let me ask you this question. Which category? B. Someone said B. Okay. Anything else? Any other options? None. Okay. Krishna said D. Option D. Fourth option. So, I purposely keep my devotees in separation. I purposely create a situation of separation between myself and my devotees so that their longing for me increases. Their love for me increases. Their remembrance of me increases. And when their love for me becomes more intense, I experience that intensified remembrance and I feel great relish in it. Ordinary drunkards in this world, they want to drink raw. Some drunkards, normal people, they mix something in it and they'll drink. I have no experience in this lifetime. but ordinary, some drunkards, those are too much addicted, they want to drink raw. So Krishna says, I don't want any adulteration. In separation, my devotees' love for me, longing for me, hankering to meet me increases so much that I purposely create situations of separation. Then all the gopis smiled. Then finally Krishna revealed, actually, I belong to the fifth category. The fifth category is, I am so ashamed. I don't have the capacity to reciprocate with your love. You love me so much, you served me so much, but I don't have the ability to sufficiently reciprocate with your love. Therefore, he said, Naparayeham Naravadya Samyujam in that context. Anyways, so Krishna creates a situation of separation to intensify our love.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. May I just say, because the question was so pertinent, we all seem to have taken some inspiration to answer, but from now on, because of the time constraints, I request especially Sacinandana Swami, who is a big talker, to just stick with his question. So, Hare Krishna.
Yes, you inspired me to contribute more.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was very, very necessary to hear.
So, Maharaj gave me this question. First question, small one. Which is the sixth loving exchange between Pandavas and Krishna? So, I was speaking right from the first canto, 10th chapter. Darshana Sparsha Samlapa Shayanasana Bhojanai. Bhagavatam, first canto, 10th chapter. I can't recollect the numbers.
Here it is.
Yeah. Darshana means seeing Krishna. Sparsha, touching Krishna. Samlapa, conversing with Krishna. Shayana, Shayana means sleeping with Krishna. Ashana, sitting with Krishna. Bhojanehi, eating with Krishna. 6 living exchanges. Okay. So quick answer. And second question. What verses have to be contemplated the most for remembrance of Krishna always? Hundreds of shlokas. Especially if you ask me, I get confused. But I will try to recollect one shloka, maybe 2 shlokas, with great sense control. Maharaj quoted already near Giriraj Govardhan.
Which one? Then he can
Yes,
pull
yes.
it up.
10.21.5. Barha pidam natavarapapuh karnayor karnikaram bibhradvasah kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamalam randharan venoradhara sudhaya purayan gopavrinde vrindaranyam swapadarabadam pravishad gita kirti. Barha pidam. Krishna wears a beautiful, shining, brilliant peacock feather on his head. Natavaravapuhu means he has a body or form that's like a drama artist. Karnayor karnikaram, as Maharaj was explaining, he has a karnika flower sometimes on the right side, sometimes on the left side. Bibhradvasaha, he has a shining yellow cloth. Kanaka kapisham, that is shining with golden hue. Vaijayantim cha malam, he also wears a beautiful Vaijayanti mala that is made of multiple colors of forest flowers. Randharan venoradhara sudhaya purayan gopa vrinde, he is filling the nectar of his lips into the holes of his flute and generating mesmerizing ragas that mesmerize even the masters of musical science. Vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti. As all the gopas are singing his glories with great ecstasy, he is entering the forest of Vrindavan. So this is one meditation that we can have to remember Krishna nicely, his form, especially his Vrindavan form, but to meditate on Krishna's compassion. This is Rupa Smaran, but to also meditate on Krishna's guna, quality. One beautiful shloka. 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, 23rd shloka maybe. This is Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam
Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam
Jighamsaya payayadapya sadhvi
Jighamsaya payayadapya sadhvi
Lebhe gatim dhatruchitam tatonyam
Lebhe gatim dhatritam tatonyam
Kam vadayalum sharanam vrajema
Samvadayalum sharanam vrajema.
Ahobakiyam stanakalakutam. Baki is Putana, the sister of Bakasur. There are 2 brothers and 1 sister. Bakasur, Aghasur and Putana. Glorious family. There is another glorious family with 2 brothers and 1 sister. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. To contrast. So, Ahobakiyam stanakala kotam. She applied some kalakota poison on her body. And Jighamsaya, with great malicious intention, apayat api asadhi, this unchaste lady, she came and tried to feed her poisonous milk to baby Krishna. She's a baby catcher. She's a witch. And lebhe gatim dhatruchitam tatonyam. Although she came with such a malicious intention, Krishna is so kind that he gave her the position of a motherliness in the spiritual world. Kam vadayalum sharanam vrajema. Who else could be more merciful than Krishna? Who else could be more compassionate than Krishna, who is worthy of giving shelter? So let's meditate on Krishna's compassion and Krishna's form. Enough. So Nama Guna, Rupa Guna, Nama and Leela, maybe some other time.
Wonderful, wonderful. This question is directed to me. In what ways can compassion extend beyond humans to all forms of life? Before answering this question, let us contemplate why it is important to develop the quality of compassion. It is imbibing two of the mandates of Mahaprabhu for chanting is to to, to not expect respect for oneself. One will forgive others for their small and big wrongdoings, and to extend respect to others. One will try to serve them. Bhaktivinoda Thakur remarks in Jaya Dhamma that of all the various dhammas which a Vaishnava could follow, daya, or show compassion to living entities, is most important. You cannot go without this. And we all know that Bhaktivinoda Thakur crystallizes three pearls of wisdom from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, which is, you all know, Nam Ruchi, taste in the holy name, Vaishnava Seva, and finally, Jivadaya. Now, how can we extend our compassion in bigger and bigger and bigger circles of compassion? At first, we tend to be compassionate to those who are close, then those who are far further away, who are neutral parties, perhaps. And then we extend it more and more and more into ever-widening concentric circles of compassion, which finally also include the non-humans. My dear devotees, this extension of compassion is only possible if you come away from the bodily concept of life and you understand everyone living, non-moving, moving as souls who are part and parcels of Krishna. Otherwise, you will be disturbed by their different natures, their different outlooks, their different smells, perhaps, their different habits, and so on. If you stay on that material level of identifying the self with the body and the mind, the opinions, you will not be able to extend the compassion. A very, very wonderful example for me is Srila Prabhupada's extensive compassion. There was one incident when he sat on his little table in Vrindavan, and his servant entered the room, and he saw there were ants on his table, crawling perhaps in the direction of the grape juice. And the servant was immediately taking something to brush it very like this away, and Prabhupada said, don't. They were here before us. I sat down just half an hour again ago. Don't. They are... Our acharyas are described to feed the dogs of the dham and so on. My dear devotees, the quicker you come into the mode of compassion, also where it's difficult, where you have to overcome your initial, let us say, feeling a little bit strained, the quicker you make advancement. And you first try to see someone on the spiritual platform, then do something good for them, which includes physical, emotional, and most of all spiritual well-being, and then it is very good for you. The next question I fished out, or picked out, for Hari Parashad Prabhu from this basket is this one. Here, we don't know what is in the questions which come. So sometimes, we have to think in fast gear.
It's in Hindi, I'll translate.
Yes.
It says, ऐसा लगता है कि ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम में अनिश्चितता ज़्यादा होने से शरणागति बढ़ती है. It seems that because of uncertainty of wealth, etc. in the brahmachari ashram, Sharanagati increases. Whereas in the Grihastha ashram, due to being independence, too much independence, therefore Sharanagati towards Bhagwan cannot increase so much. And moreover, there are many responsibilities in the Grihastha ashram. So while taking care of wife and children, so one cannot get time for Bhagwan. Please guide to select an ashram.
Oh. You never know what you're pulling out of the basket. Guide us. But these are real questions. Yes.
So the fact that in the brahmachari ashram there are insecurities regarding wealth, etc. So there is dependence on Bhagwan is greater. And in Grihastha ashram there is freedom and hence Sharanagati will be lesser. This idea sounds good on paper. Spend a few years in the brahmachari ashram and become promoted to a leader, and then you come to know that you have greater financial independence and greater security. People are taking care of you, and then Sharanagati can become even more difficult, if not equally difficult. So this question looks like coming from somebody who has not yet risen up to higher ranks in the brahmachari ashram. Of course, what is the point of Sharanagati if it is done out of fear? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Mahasaya says that there are many motivations for surrendering to Bhagwan. The lowest and the basest of motivations is fear. Then there is, the second is Kartavya Buddhi. Kartavya Buddhi is out of a sense of duty, one surrenders. And the best one is Rag, out of genuine attachment to Bhagwan, one surrenders. And it is the firm opinion of the previous acharyas that Sharanagati of Bhagwan should not be done under fear, under negative emotions. It should always be done out of Rag. And Rag is independent of the financial securities or insecurities that one has in their particular life. So one should ideally take to Sharanagati out of Rag, out of a genuine desire for getting attached to Bhagwan, and not because of a precarious position that one is in currently in the brahmachari ashram or grihastha ashram. Secondly, it says that there are a lot of responsibilities that increase after grihastha ashram, and one is not able to think of Bhagwan. Well, if we understand the mode of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, somebody who has that particular mindset will always find time to think of Bhagwan. And here is the verse from Mahaprabhu. This verse was composed by Mahaprabhu himself. Kindly repeat after me. Paravyasani nari yagrapi graha karmasu tadeva swadhayatyanta navasanga rasayanam CC Madhya 1.211, which Mahaprabhu is saying, if a woman is attached to a man other than her husband, she will appear very busy in carrying out her household affairs, but within her heart she is always relishing feelings of association with her paramour. So thinking of Bhagwan in any ashram, brahmachari ashram or grihastha ashram, is somewhat similar to this. A person who understands the art of thinking of Bhagwan in this manner will understand how to execute smarana of Bhagwan irrespective of which ashram they are in. In fact, sometimes in Brahmachari ashram, if you may think of Bhagavan too much, they may say, what are you doing? So you may say, oh, I'm thinking of Bhagavan. Prabhu, do some practical seva. So that may be one of the obstacles you may face in Brahmachari ashram. The obstacles are equal on both sides. It depends on one's mindset. So that is how one can understand this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Our next question goes to Gauranga Darshan. Please read the question.
Someone gave one more question just now.
Just now. Achha. I will put it
For
here.
a full-time practicing devotee who wants to dedicate the whole life in Krishna's service, what would be an ideal daily timetable from morning to night?
Wonderful.
Is it recommended to complete 16 rounds before Mangalarti? And if someone wishes to do so, how should the rest of the day be structured? Also, if you are comfortable sharing, can you please tell your own daily schedule? Especially how you prepare yourself for speaking and discussing Krishna Katha. Very long question. I'll try to give a short answer. For a full-time practicing devotee, okay. So, daily schedule, as much as possible, if we try to keep it more organized, more predictable, it's great. We can be calm, composed, peaceful. But if there is too much of uncertainty and unpredictability in our daily schedules, then naturally we'll be more anxious, we feel that stress, we feel exhausted, tired, etc. So what is the best timetable? It's totally individual. Some basic things we can speak. Yes, morning program is there, Bhagavatam class is there, whatever is your service, you do that, and take meals on time. So that's like general basic guidelines that one can give. But my humble opinion and experience in the last 16-17 years of being in Brahmacharya ashram is flexibility. We need to be flexible. That flexibility, malleability and adaptability to circumstances is very much important. If we are like very rigid on our schedule, this is my schedule, this is what I will do. I mean, it's good for self-discipline, but we should also be malleable enough to mold ourselves according to the changing circumstances and needs of the hour. I was told this beautiful example in my initial days of Brahmacharya ashram. We should be like a camel. What does a camel do? Whenever camel gets an opportunity to drink some water, it drinks, fills the belly, 1 liter, 2 liters, 3 liters, 10 liters, whatever it is. Because camel knows in the next 2 days or 3 days or 4 days I have to travel in the desert, I will not get an opportunity to drink water. Now this is the time, let me drink. Similarly, in our schedules also, sometimes there are very hectic phases. Sometimes there are little light phases. So we should be smart enough to utilize those light phases to do more Shravanam and Kirtanam and nourish ourselves spiritually, so that that spiritual charging that we get in those times will help us survive when there is no, when there is too much of activity. For example, December marathon, many devotees are like too much caught up in book distribution. They may not be able to do their sadhana. Now, last 5 days Saranagati, that we have an intense schedule, I couldn't write much. Today I had some little time, I was writing. Brad Bhagavatamrita part 2, Subodhini. Right? I wrote 2 days back, maybe some 10 shlokas. Last 2 days I couldn't write anything because intense schedule. So we need to be little flexible and adaptable according to changing timings. As far as my schedule, someone said, what is my schedule is concerned. So, one more point. Completing 16 rounds before Mangalarti, please do it only if it is possible for you. If we artificially try to imitate someone else or raise above ourselves to a very high standard which we cannot maintain, we will only be frustrated. Just do it step by step. As Maharaj said on the fourth day of our retreat, Avyagratam, no haste. In that passion of completing 16 rounds before Mangalarti, people may hastily, sometimes we may hastily finish our rounds, or we may cut down on our sleep and then we sleep in japa, or we may not be able to continue for a long time with that schedule. But if you can manage to do it, that's best. So in my case, in our brahmachari training phases, it was in 2009, I joined brahmachari ashram. So we had Mangalarti at 5 o'clock in Radha Gopinath Chowpatty. Our reporting time is at 4:20 a.m. 4:20, before 4:20 we have to mark our attendance P. If you are little late, then you have to write, you will be getting the reward of writing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 54 times during the japa slot. I wrote few times also. So 4:20 we report. From 4:20 a.m. to 5 a.m. I used to read Bhagavad Gita, because I know there is a dedicated time to chant. After Mangalarti, we are allowed to chant for 1.5 to 2 hours. So I can chant my rounds at that time. 4:20 a.m. to 5 a.m. I used to study Bhagavad Gita. So that 1 year of study like that in Brahma Muhurta, it nourished me so much. Now I don't get that time. Now we are in GEV, or Mangalarti is at 4:30. I have to get up much early, and sometimes we have dressing, DT dressing, seva. We won't be able to chant only during chanting time. What to speak of studying Bhagavad Gita? That 40 minutes of reading in those days, that's equivalent to 3-4 hours of reading during that time. So basically, be flexible. Don't be rigid on your timetable. As much as possible, maintain your self-discipline, but try to also accommodate that flexibility. So I would just conclude the answer by giving one formula, a TAP formula, TAP. T for time management. The question is about time management. So I would add something more. A for attention management. P for priority management.
Wow.
We may allocate time to different tasks that we have in our day. That is time management. But if we don't keep ourselves attentive during the time, then what's the point? So you have allocated 1 hour to study Bhagavatam in your schedule. Timetable is made nicely. But in that 1 hour, every 5 minutes you are checking phone. Okay, Instagram Reels, Facebook updates, WhatsApp updates. Every 5 minutes this is ringing and you are checking. Sometimes even if it doesn't ring, we pick up phone. How many of you have picked up phone without ringing? It happens because we are insecure. Is Wi-Fi working or not? So instead of being inattentive, let's try to be attentive in that 1 hour slot. If you are attentive, that 1 hour is equal to 2 hours. If you are inattentive, that 1 hour is equal to 15 minutes. Right? So time management, attention management. Then third is priority management. We may allocate time to some task. We may be attentive in the task also, but if it is not necessary to do it, what's the point of allocating time? Prioritize things. So that's what I can say. So time is not in our control. Although you make a plan, many times the plans will change. Be adaptable, but don't be too random. Be flexible, but don't be random. At the same time, focus on attention. Be attentive in whatever we are doing. That's all I can say. Oh my God, long question. Especially, how do you prepare yourself for speaking and discussing Krishna Katha? Long back, 15 years back, I used to prepare for classes, but nowadays, when I sit for preparation, in 5 minutes my mind goes here and there. I said, let whatever comes out from my mouth at that time, let it come out. I generally don't prepare for classes. I have my Shastric study. At that time, whatever Krishna inspires me, I'll just share. Sometimes I may see 5 minutes overview, but I don't specifically sit to prepare for a class. Because my spiritual master said, if you speak very nicely, eloquently, with a nice voice modulation, that will impress the ears of people. They'll be very happy. But if you speak logically and philosophically, quoting some reasoning and all, that will impress the intelligence of people. But if you speak from heart, that will reach the hearts of people. So whatever went into my heart, let it come out. Whatever Krishna inspires at that time, let it come out. I prepare sometimes, but on a regular basis for a class, I generally can't get into preparation mode. I do my svadhyaya. Hare Krishna.
And you do very well with that advice. That's rich. Bhujan says always, what comes from the heart goes to the heart as a speaker. Same point. Yes. The next is here for me. What main instruction will you give for developing humility? my dear devotees, for, I would say, be real. And you will pierce through the veil of self-deception and see who you are, a fallen soul here in this world. I'm not like Gauranga Darshan, I have to make notes because I forget. So the vision of reality is for me humility. And what helps very much, I used this for 10 years in my life, the vision or, the practice which is there in Bhajan Rahasya. You remember the Tritiya Yama Sadhana is practicing devotional service or chanting according to the verse Trinada Pisunichina. I think you are familiar with this. And then a little into the text of Bhajan Rahasya, he gives a series of 7 verses, mostly from Yamunacharya's Stotaratna. Some of these verses were quoted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To give you a little bit the feeling, I feel, let me first say, songs, verses, and contemplating about what great souls say gives you that vision of reality and helps you to see through the veil of self-deception. Because the ego will always tell you, you are the single most greatest person in the universe. That's what the ego does, no? So you have to go through that and see it from a different perspective. So it's quoting the verses of which we find there is very helpful. There's one verse which says, I was drowning helplessly without any hope for being saved in the vast ocean. Then I found your 2 beautiful lotus feet, which were like the shore of the ocean, the beach of the ocean. Now I request your mercy to bring me there. Wonderful, no? So there are verses or songs help me personally to go into the mood of humility. That is also the tip of Bhaktisiddhanta. He says we should chastise our mind by singing and contemplating the song Amara Jivana, which we did in the valley. No, my life is sinful, or like Shankaracharya says, I am sinful, my thoughts are sinful, my birth is sinful. Please now help me, my Lord. No, this is, and also discussions with kind-hearted Vaishnavas can help you to become humble. But for me, the greatest motivator is even something which is personal, I wanted to say. I again and again, as I move through life, contemplate about my real goal. Is my real goal I wanted to say, is my goal to be right in this conversation? Is my role to be seen as a respectable Vaishnava who gets likes on who gets a fan following? Is that my goal? Is my goal perhaps to collect huge amounts of money for new projects? Is my supreme goal in life? No, my goal in life is to please the Lord and one day be eligible to join Him in His transcendental world. That's my goal. And I always keep that goal, try to keep that goal over my mind. And when I'm challenged with my humility, like when a monkey urinates on me or a human being talks abusively to me, I think my goal is different. I once was receiving a heavy blow by an older Prabhupada disciple. That was when I just joined. I had read the Krishna book in the bathroom while I was using those activities, doing those things where you don't require a witness, using the big toilet. And I used as a non-devotee be an avid reader, and my biggest concentration was in the bathroom when no one would interrupt me. And I did not know that this was not right, so I came happily singing with great enthusiasm out of the bathroom, carrying the Krishna book with me. And an older Prabhupada disciple saw me, and he was just so angry, and I think now I can understand him, why he was angry. I took something very sacred into a Muchi place, and he just immediately gave me a heavy blow in the face. So before I came to Krishna consciousness, I was interested in righteousness and so on, and I had gone to ample demonstrations on German towns and became a street fighter. I was able to win almost any physical combat. I was very quick and very thoughtful in my where to place the blows on my opponent, and I was getting ready in my fighting mood. I screamed very loud to make the opponent insecure. That's the samurai technique in combat, to just bewilder him. I got into the pose, Bruce Lee pose, and I was just ready to respond in kind to that heavy blow. When something came into my mind, hey, you're on the process now of spiritual life. Hey, you want to become a devotee of the Lord, serve the devotees, not make apparats against the devotees. That's your higher goal. And I said, why don't, in the mind I thought, find out why he delivered that blow to you. Perhaps he was right and you were not right. So I can never forget this decision which I made in my conscious mind to think what is better in the long term. What is better in and humility brings you much more further than arrogance and pride and all these things. There are 3 gates to hell designed in the Bhagavad Gita. Damba is one, lust is one, greed is one. So why go for short term, which brings you to a terrible result? Have an awareness of the highest goal. And for that it is good to come to retreats like this. There are many good kathas now. Choose what is your ultimate good over what is your temporary good. Make that conscious choice, train yourself, and soon, first it will be forced humility, practiced humility, and after some time you realize, well, actually everyone is respectable. Hare Krishna. So our next question goes to Ari Parshad. Yes, this is.
You mentioned how by performing bhakti brings happiness to our hearts, and I was experiencing that during your lectures. Thank you. So, is experiencing happiness in devotional service, is it considered selfish? How can I differentiate and improve where I am not focusing on my happiness, but rather making Krishna happy? Every relationship in this world is based on dadati pratigrinati. accepting something and giving something. So, Sri Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante, tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. That as individuals surrender to me, I reciprocate accordingly. And therefore, Bhagavan may also give some happiness, and then we should also have the grace to accept any happiness that Bhagavan or Bhakti Devi gives. In his commentary to Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, and I am pointing it out, he says, अथ अत्र भक्तानां प्रारब्ध सामान्य नाशेपि यत् सुख दुःखम दृश्यते. Even though karma is not really applicable so much to the devotees, but still some happiness and distress is seen in the life of devotees. He says, tatra tu sukham bhakter anushangika phalam. So whatever happiness that a devotee gets is anushangika phala, side effect of performing bhakti. So it means Bhagavan himself, through the via medium of Bhakti Devi, gives some happiness to the devotee, and the devotee should have the dignity and grace to receive that happiness nicely. Because we are not robots that no happiness for me, you take all the happiness. And I just a simple example, because many times acharyas give examples from the material world. Let's say girl and boy get married to each other, and the girl is very dedicated to the boy, and the boy is equally dedicated to the girl. But the girl has in her mind, I don't want any happiness, I wish to give all the happiness to him. And so she renders some nice seva to him, and in return he also wants to render some seva, and he gives a gift and says, no, I don't want it. So dear devotees, that sort of a relationship doesn't work, because when happiness is also in seeing the other person happy. So we should have that dignity and grace to accept some happiness from Bhagavan when Bhagavan gives. And in the Padyavali, the very first verse, Sri Rupa Goswami says, Kriti Kadambaka Kautukaya. This is for the happiness of the devotees. This literature Padyavali is mainly for the happiness of the devotees, and this happiness is produced by Bhakti Devi herself. It is something which should be accepted without any hesitation, because we are not robots, or our relationship with Sri Krishna is not so fragile that simply by a small ounce of happiness, Bhagavan will become jealous of us and again throw us back in the material world. So that is the answer to the query. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Our next question goes again to Guru Rangadashan. We have a little around here, it always goes that way.
Hare Krishna. Dear Prabhu, you discussed the glories of Lord Shiva, and we hear how he is foremost amongst the Vaishnavas. Being a Shiva Bhakta previously, and after stopping to worship him, I have a doubt whether should I continue to worship him, and if so, how is Shiva worshipped in our Sampradaya? Also, chanting his holy names in private and public will give us more blessings, or should I just focus on chanting Mahamantra? Very genuine question. In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 24th chapter, 28th shloka, Lord Shiva says, Yah param ramha sakshat. We can, Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. Yah param ramha sakshat.
Yah param brahma sakshat.
Triguna jiva samgitat.
Triguna jiva samgitam.
Bhagavantam vasudevam.
Bhagavantam vasudevam.
Prapannaha sapriyo hi me.
Prapannaha sapriyo hi me.
This is Lord Shiva speaking to the Prachetas. He says, whoever worships Lord Vasudeva is very dear to me. He says, Bhagavantam Vasudevam Prapannaha. When you surrender yourself to Lord Vasudeva, you become dear to Lord Shiva. And so many instances in Srimad Bhagavatam where Shiva is glorifying the Lord, you see in the episode of Bhrugumuni going to Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva to test who is the best amongst the three. You remember that episode, 10th canto Bhagavatam? So Bhrugumuni first goes to Brahma Loka. He doesn't offer obeisances to Brahma. Brahma doesn't have etiquette. So Brahma is little agitated, but he did not speak anything. But Bhrugumuni noticed that Brahma was disturbed by this mental offense of Bhrugumuni of not offering obeisances to him. Then Bhrugumuni went to Shivaloka and he abused him. Shiva, you are always unclean. You have ashes all over the body. You have snakes around your neck. You are surrounded by ghosts and hobgoblins and all kinds of people. You are living in crematorium. So he kind of chastised or criticized Lord Shiva. Then Shiva took a trishul to kill Bhrugumuni. Then Mother Parvati came and said, please, he's your brother, he's our guest also, don't kill him. So she kind of controlled him. Then Shiva just kept quiet. Then Bhrugumuni went to Vishnu Loka and he kicked Lord Vishnu on his chest. Oh. Physical offense. First mental offense, second verbal offense, third physical offense. Immediately Lord Vishnu got up and fell at the feet of Bhrugumuni, and you know what happened later. And because Vishnu exhibited so much of tolerance in this provoking situation, he is great, Bhrugumuni declared. Prabhupada, it's a beautiful statement there. The tolerance, the greatness of a person has to be estimated by his ability to tolerate provoking situations. Classical statement by Prabhupada. Now, let's come back to Shiva. Why did Shiva become angry? When Daksha was criticizing Shiva, did Shiva become angry? When Daksha was cursing Shiva, he did not become angry publicly. So Shiva had great tolerance, but this time when Bhrigu criticized Lord Shiva, Shiva did not tolerate. The reason is Lord Shiva understood the purpose of Bhrigumuni. What is the purpose? He wanted to find out who amongst these three deities, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, is the best. Shiva thought that why was a part of the nominations in the first place? Why he is even considering me as a competitor of Vishnu? Why he has to test me at all? You should openly declare that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am his servant, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. So Shiva purposely exhibited anger so that Bhrigu doesn't even consider him in this test. So by becoming angry, Shiva glorified Vishnu. And in Mohini Murti episode, Lord Vishnu manifested himself as Mohini Murti and made Shiva run behind him, especially amongst all the Shiva Bhaktas, amongst all the yogis who are meditating on Shiva, who are thinking that Shiva is the role model. And he embraced Lord Shiva, humiliated Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva says, my Lord is so wonderful that he can bewilder me also. Even the personification of material energy, Mother Parvati could not captivate Lord Shiva, but Lord Vishnu, by showing his Mohini Murti form, completely captivated Lord Shiva. And Shiva considered this an honor. The Lord played with me, the Lord joked with me. So several instances in Srimad Bhagavatam where we see that Lord Shiva is more happy when we worship Krishna, and he himself worships Krishna. As far as worshipping Lord Shiva, chanting Shiva mantra is concerned, devotees asked about Shiva mantra also. Should I chant this mantra? Now, we chant the names of devotees also. After Narasimharti we say Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. After Guru Puja we say Prabhupada ki jai. After lectures, devotees are saying the speaker ki jai. Right? So definitely, by praising devotees, saying jai to devotees, we definitely develop great appreciation for them. We become closer to Krishna by worshipping the devotees and by praising the devotees. As far as sadhana is concerned, we just follow the paddhati, the process recommended by our acharyas. So we were taught to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra because we are following this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we are in ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada taught us to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we stick to that and we respect everyone. We respect Shiva, we respect Brahma, we respect Indra also, we respect all the devatas. So we should not criticize the devatas, we should not disrespect them, but we understand their position in connection with Krishna, and we honor like that. Yam brahma varunendra rudra marutah stunvanti divyaistavaihi vedaihi sangapadakramopaniषदैहि gayanti yam samagaha dhyanavasthita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino yasyantam na vidursura suraganaha devaya tasmai namaha. First line. Yam brahma varuna indra rudra marutah stunvanti divyaistavaihi. Even Rudra is also praising Krishna, praising Vishnu. So we understand, if we worship Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, Shiva will be pleased. I hope that answers the question, whoever has asked that.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I have the very sad duty here to watch the entire program because we have a few more things to do. We will have to interrupt this part of the program. But two things. We will request Brother Vallabha to perhaps take the questions here, and those who are for Hari Parshad, you put them on one pile, those who are for Gauranga Darshan on another pile, those who are for me on the third pile, and you can give them to all of us, and we will all look at the questions. And my dear, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in prayer?
Yes, ma'am.
You do. So, two things. These devotees who will read your questions, and they will pray to the Lord that the questions will be answered in your heart. This is, you think, what a clever solution. You have good sense of humor. So yes, we can do, no? Yes. We all take, it's also good for us speakers to know our audience better, no? So Pran Vallabha will give you your questions, your questions, etc. We believe in prayer, no? Good, so let's do that also in activity. Another thing which needs to be done here is our Ram Krishna. He is, and I have a few priests in Vrindavan who are praying, and he is the son of one of my very dear priests who is now at the Mayapur project and absent. He brought a blessing for the speakers with you. Hare Krishna. Oh, Jay, wonderful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. From Giriraj? From Giriraj? It's from Giriraj. You know, it is offered daily. Giriraj gets these shawls. And here for you, as a memory, Hari Pasha, for you. One more. One. Prashanta is next to Bhavanandini Didi. There. So, who? Good. And please stand here like your father and bless the audience. No, everyone. Jai Jai Sri Radhe.
जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय हो।
Hare Krishna. If you want, only if you want, as a suggestion, will be there. And if you want, they can give little, they can give little dakshin for your seva at Radha Kund. You will be, there you can stay, and as they go out, if they want. As devotees of Krishna, we are satisfied. Sometimes we get something, sometimes we get nothing. No problem. We just do our seva. Hare Krishna. Good. Now, after we want to complete this festival, it's not a festival, this retreat, with a beautiful flower abhishek of Giriraj. We will all go here to this Giriraj, you see, on our lawn, and build a big circle where we then chant a few mantras, and then we all throw flowers at Giriraj. No? The idea is to thank him, to ask him for blessings before we go. This not do immediately, will come in a minute or so. What to do immediately is how to give you an inspiration, how you can stay in touch with the speakers. You can see here, if you wish to stay in touch with